Hi guys, hope you are well. Me, I'm chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool in this year 2020 that has been flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there while I talk to Aunt Vivienne Banks from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the one and only Daphne Maxwell Reid. Sat down, we had a Zoom interview. What an awesome lady. By the way, I've been watching her on TV for 27 years, so this was an absolute privilege, an absolute honor for me. We spoke about the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We had a chat about the 30-year reunion, what she's been up to, what she's busy doing, and of course she shared some of that wisdom with me. And I like to connect with great people like this because it's a real learning curve as to what makes great people great. She did share a lot with me. Check it out. Okay, actress, Renaissance woman, entrepreneur, fashion designer, photographic artist, education activist, and even the publisher to your very own sentimental cookbook. Mostly known for the role as Vivienne Banks in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the legendary Daphne Maxwell Reid. Such an
Well, so nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I haven't been to South Africa in many years, but I loved it.
Oh, that was actually one of my questions. When last were you in South Africa?
Probably in the early 80s.
Oh, wow. That's plus minus when I was born, eh? A lot has changed since then.
Okay. Yes, it really has, except the flora and the fauna have not changed.
Yeah, well, where I'm from, it's a little dry and brown, so yeah, you will be surprised. Global warming has had an impact, eh?
Well, I'll have to come back.
There we go. I like that. After the virus, though.
Okay, please.
All right. So I've grown up, okay, in South Africa. I've grown up watching The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when I was in school. Good. And then South Africa played it when I was in my 20s. Guess what? South Africa has it on at least 3 different channels in my 30s. So I've been watching you for like 27 years now. So this is an absolute bucket list moment right here. And an absolute honor, yes, to finally meet you.
Oh, very nice to meet you too. And thank you for sticking with us for 27 years.
Now, look, I was looking for a good excuse to contact you, and the 30th year reunion was my excuse. I found the perfect excuse, right? So I watched it. I loved it. I also teared up with some of the moments where you guys teared up.
Good. Yes, we cried a lot.
And I had a couple of questions. Firstly, when you guys, did you guys meet beforehand, or was it just like an unscripted, on-camera meet and greet situation?
Totally unscripted. We met all together right there as you saw it happen.
Oh, wow. So an impromptu, just like real honest situation.
That's the way Will wanted it shot. He had us all in separate hotels.
Oh, wow.
Now, we had seen each other over the years, but not all together.
Of course,
so they had us separated in the different hotels, and they had separate dressing rooms for us on the set. And they said, no, you're not supposed to socialize until we get together on the set. We want an honest reunion. And that's what we got.
Oh, so if there's tears, there's tears. If there's awkward moments, there's awkward moments.
Yes. Yes.
And that there was a little bit of both, right?
Oh, there was a lot of tension, a lot of surprises, a lot of joy. It was really, really wonderful to see everybody all at the same time, but also to see that they had recreated the set. Now, that was a big surprise to all of us.
Yes. And it feels like the whole journey has come full circle with this reunion, right?
Yes, from the very beginning with Janet and all the way till the end with us selling the Bel-Air mansion and moving on.
Yeah, just missing James Avery, of course.
Totally. I loved that man. very much.
Of course.
And he and I were very, very good friends since we met at the show. He and his wife and my husband and I have traveled together. And we went to Joseph's wedding in London together. We have
Uh,
had many, many adventures that just were so wonderful. He was such the rock of the program. He
yes,
was really, Uncle Phil was the standard post in the family, and everything kind of revolved around him or was sanctioned by him or was upset by him.
he was
And
the
we all
rock, but also
learned a
the
lot
teddy
from
bear.
him.
So he
Oh
was
yeah,
the
he
rock,
was a
but also
teddy
the
bear.
teddy bear. Eh?
Oh, he definitely was the teddy bear. And I loved being in those arms, being hugged by him. It was great.
That does look cuddly. Now you looked gorgeous, by the way. That blue jacket you were wearing,
Thank
was that one of your Chinese brocade silk Daphne style designs?
It was. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, it
Oh,
was.
I'm
I make lots of them. I've got them about 20 different colors. So I get to wear them on different shows and I get to wear them in real life.
I'm pretty sure after the reunion the sales are gonna go through the roof, right?
I hope so,
After
but
we saw you
nah.
in it. Now, while I was watching the reunion, one of the biggest surprises for me was that in all across your 27 years, you have never met Janet Hubert. And I would have thought in 27 years, with it being such a small world, your paths would have crossed at some point and you would have had a Aunt Viv moment. And like, it was so surprising to hear that that was the first time that you get to meet her, which by the way, we enjoyed watching that first meet. It was just like a massive surprise to
Good.
us.
It was a massive surprise to everybody. Nobody knew what was going to happen. And we shot for 2 days, and that was the second day. The first day, we saw the little clip, just a piece of what Will, and Janet had done. But we didn't see
Yeah.
the whole interview that they had. So the second day, they didn't know what the reaction was going to be because this was the first time the whole family had seen Janet. So it was a surprise. And
As
sometimes they thought it was going to be awkward, but it didn't turn out to be awkward at all.
I can tell you, as far as Aunt Viv is concerned, that was our full circle moment right there.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, she belonged there. This was
Yes, she
her
did. Yeah.
anniversary too. She
Yes, yes, of
started this
course.
show.
Now, what do you remember about the final episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? What stands out to you the most?
That we cried and cried and almost couldn't get through the show because we kept crying every time somebody had to exit the room for the last time. We cried. It it was really tough. The read through at the beginning of the week around the table was tough, and you saw some of that in the
Yes, yes,
editing that
yes.
they did for the reunion. But it was really, really hard to say goodbye to your family.
Yeah, and that sadness
It
that we
was not a
saw,
surprise, though.
of course,
It
yeah.
wasn't a surprise because Will had told us a year before that this was going to be the last year. But we didn't kind of count down to, okay, we got 10 minutes left. We got what? It was just, oh my goodness, this is the last one.
Yeah, of
And
course.
we cried.
And the sadness we saw wasn't acting, it was genuine heartbreak.
Oh, God, yes. It really was. And then we broke out into a cake fight. So it was
Oh,
all
okay.
lovely in the end.
Without Jazz, of course, because Jazz hit the plane early, I believe.
Yes, he escaped.
Typical men run away from their problems, hey? That's a very good answer. Now, you have obviously broken down a lot of barriers, being the first African American to win Homecoming Queen for Northwest University, which, by the way, even though it was had some negativity surrounding it, you still opened the doors for many women as far as that's concerned. You were also the first African American to be on the cover of Glamour magazine. Now, were you ever trying to break these barriers? Were you ever intending to be a pioneer, or were you just focusing on your journey and that just came with the journey?
You said it. I was only focusing on my journey. I had no idea. Pioneers don't know they're pioneers until you write the history of it. You just do what you do in your normal course of life, and it happens to be the first or the only or whatever. Somebody has to break all the barriers, and it's lovely being a pioneer, but that's also the guys that get shot in the back from the people behind them.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately. Yeah.
being a pioneer is not all a lovely journey. But I have been blessed and really am proud of the openings that I have carved out of life for other people to come through.
Yes, that foundation you built. And what one of the things that I admire about you is many times we're always focusing on the end result and we forget about the journey along the way. And if we don't make that end result, then the whole journey was a waste of time. So what I like about you is you always talk about the journeys that you take, regardless of the end result. The journey is actually the lesson, and that's the one lesson that I always take from you.
Yes, good, because that's what I did with the photographs that I took. The doors um, just turned out to be my metaphor for life. And it just symbolized so many things like opportunity and adventure and curiosity. And I happen to have a background in interior design and architecture, so I focus on the details in life. And the details that I'm attracted to are the craftsmanship of doors, the colors, the way that God has beat them up, the way people have enhanced them for their own personal taste. And they really say a lot about whoever is behind the door. But I like for you to wonder who that is behind that door. And I want you to also, as you say, focus on the journey, because that's the richness of living, not the end result, not when you get to the spot where you are having to start another journey, but the journey itself is where the richness in life lies.
Yes, and I'm glad you mentioned the photography because your father studied photography. And I'm assuming that's where you inherited that passion. And at the age of 60, you decided, okay, listen, this is what I want to be. And so I looked at your photos of the doors, beautiful doors, by the way, taken from
Thank you.
I think all around Europe, some even in Asia.
Oh, yes, all over the world.
And I was knowing you, I knew there had to be a metaphorical reason behind it because you are very artistic. So I was very curious about that. So I'm glad you actually opened that up for me.
Uh-huh. I take a lot of pictures. I also do flowers and do details of flowers. Not sometimes I do if it's a beautiful bouquet or something. I try to capture the essence of what draws me to that picture and hopefully focus on that little piece of the photo that will also catch your attention
That little bit of
and
detail.
share that with you. Yes, a little bit of detail.
All right. Now, as if you are not talented enough, you've come out with your own, and I call it a sentimental cookbook because it's spiced with personal memories. Now, your cookbook is called Grace and Soul and Motherwit. Want to tell me a bit about that?
Well, my mother was full of grace. And my community is based on a culture of soul. And mother wit is something you either have or you don't have. And I like to share mother wit with some folks who are not aware that they really do have it if they pay attention to their instincts.
Yeah, I was going
And
to ask, do
the
you learn it or are you born with it? I was going to ask, do you learn it or are you born with it?
I was wondering, I'll leave that up to you. Maybe
I'll,
you can learn it. I don't know.
well, I don't know how
But
much
it's a book
Motherwit.
of stories.
Yeah,
Motherwit?
I don't know how much Motherwit I will have, but I'm definitely going to check that book and
Oh,
check.
good, good, good,
Yes,
good.
yes.
A lot of people call motherwit common sense, and that's instinctual, and that's kind of learned by the environment that you grow up in. That's just part of growing up. But this book is full of stories of my life, early in my life, and how I was influenced by my mother and her desire to feed people with love and sit around a table and commune. It's very, I guess it's a religious experience to me to sit at a table and to
Yes.
commune with fellow passengers in this world. And I just want to share that and hopefully encourage people to do that more.
I love that because, like you said, I think your upbringing made you believe that anything is possible. And because you believe that anything is possible based on the way you were raised, everything was possible to you.
Yes, and I happen to be blessed with being in the right place at the right time and able and prepared to take advantage of opportunities when they presented themselves to me. So um, it's a journey of curiosity and adventure and blessings.
Now, I believe you are also starring in the new Christmas movie, The Business of Christmas, which aired just a couple of days ago, by the way. Do you want to give me some content on that movie?
It's online, so it'll be playing forever on BET Plus, which is one of those apps that you download on your device. I star as the matriarch of a family called Franklin Family, who have a toy store that is in a bit of financial problem, and trying to seek the answer to the problem without destroying the family or the holiday is what this family attempts to do. And of course, since it's a Christmas movie, all's well that ends well.
Well, Christmas movies, it has to end well, right? Right? I
Very
would be
much so.
disappointed if it wasn't. Okay, so I'm definitely going to go check that out. What message would you like to give the listeners of Gold FM 104.3 and to your fans in South Africa?
I want to say congratulations on all the progress you've made over the past 30 years. We're speaking of 30 years, and to live your life with the power that you know you inherently have as a culture, as a people, and know that we support you here on the other side of this pond.
That's awesome. And also keep up the good work that you do. I see you're still a spokesperson
Thank
for
you.
Virginia State University. You are the education humanitarian after all.
I have
And
a wonderful, wonderful relationship with them. Yes.
yes, for always. And of course, my advice to you for this Christmas is behave under the mistletoe.
Well, we have this little COVID thing going on, so there's not going to be a lot of smooching going on except with my husband. So,
Well, even if it wasn't COVID, I hope that was the situation, hey?
well, we like to share.
Oh, wow.
Happy holidays to you as well, and be safe. Be safe.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for making my bucket list.
Excellent. You can take that one out now.
I will. Crossed off.
All right.
Next one.
Be
All right,
well.
but thank you and have a good festive season.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.